of the national capital, bringing traffic in many parts to a standstill. We have some really tragic story coming in from Karnataka. I'm going to open my show here today with this very story. Over 30 families in Karnataka's Kalaburgi have been rendered homeless in just a single day. In fact, Raichur city, the high voltage eviction drive unfolded today on a 3-acre stretch of land long disputed between residents and the Waqf board. The land in Hasmia compound has been at the center of a legal tussle since 1989, we hear. On paper, the Kalaburgi Waqf Tribunal has ruled the property as a Waqf property. Now, the latest hearing from the tribunal also said that this property belongs to the Waqf. So, from April 8th onwards, we hear 3 notices were sent out to the local residents there who've been living in that property for nearly few generations, if one might say. In fact, the tribunal has granted full ownership to Waqf. That would mean 34 homes and 20 commercial shops had to be vacated. And that's what we saw here. People who were staying there for many decades, largely Muslims, were asked to leave. Authorities claim that eviction notices were sent, but many of those locals who were residing there claim they were fully blindsided. Some say that they never even received a notice. What followed was sheer chaos. That's what we see here as bulldozers arrived. Local Muslim women erupted in protest, furious that a Muslim-governed institution was evicting them without a plan for resettlement. In fact, one of the ladies said, "Kamina dushman hai Waqf." Those were the words that echoed through the narrow lanes there as emotions ran high. Officials were accused of forcing families out even while children were still at their homes. Some women were detained after confrontations turned intense and they were taken away in DAR vehicles as well. The district administration has now promised rehabilitation, but residents say they've received no concrete assurance. Their question cuts deep. What point of a Waqf board if the Waqf cannot protect, let alone uplift the very community that they are meant to serve? All right, now imagine a red carpet that's been rolled out for a flood inspection drive. While residents are wading through waist-deep misery in Bengaluru, we saw the Chief Minister and Deputy both arriving in areas to inspect the flood-hit localities, and they arrived in an AC bus, and what's worse is we hear red carpet was rolled out to welcome them. Now, we're looking at the city battling one of its worst flooding spells in Bengaluru. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah there arrived in an AC bus. He waved from the inside of the bus and left without stepping into the waterlogged lanes or even speaking with the people. Those are the claims there. The visuals have triggered, of course, massive outrage. Locals from the Sai layout furious. One woman saying, "You come here, take a round in your luxury bus and then leave. We won't vote for you again." Others accuse the Chief Minister of treating the inspection as a photo opportunity, saying that he didn't even step into the layout, which was really affected. How can he feel our pain without actually coming into the locality? In fact, these are visuals though where he managed to speak with some of the locals there. But a lot many more felt slighted, saying that this was just a photo op. He came visibly in front, spoke to some of them and went away. Well, and then you have the red carpet welcome, quite literally, and those are the visuals you see there. BBMP officials rolled out a red carpet in a flood-hit zone. What was supposed to be a disaster review looked more like a grand welcome there, clearly tone deaf and infuriating. Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, while questioned, denied the red carpet welcome, but those are visuals for proof. In fact, Siddaramaiah says this is BJP's false propaganda. Now, residents are quite upset. They feel that the government had shown absolute apathy. They don't want to get into politics, but this is something that they will not tolerate. They've condemned it. They need help. Residents really need help. They say, we don't want condolences. Don't wave to us through your AC buses. Come down, step out, interact with us, understand our pain, and give us help. That's what we need. All right, taking you through news from Karnataka. We're looking at a BJP MLA in Karnataka who's been accused of gang rape and assault. Serious allegations have rocked Karnataka politics. A 40-year-old woman has accused BJP's Rajarajeshwari Nagar MLA Muni Ratna and 3 others of gang rape. Also accused him of physical assault, and claims are that he injected her with a suspected virus. Now, these are claims of the victim. The alleged incident has taken place in June 2023 at the MLA's Matikere office, but the FIR was only filed days ago at the RMC Yard police station. According to the complaint, the woman was picked up in an SUV by 2 of the accused, taken to an office, stripped, beaten, injected with an unknown substance. In fact, the victim claims that Muni Ratna urinated on her face and threatened to harm her son. The survivor has also alleged that she was jailed in false cases at the MLA's behest and later abused again under the pretext of help. She was hospitalized in January, where doctors confirm a viral infection as well. She attempted suicide, we hear, on May 19th and then finally approached the police. And here's a case that's been registered under multiple sections, and an SIT probe may likely take over to investigate the allegations against the BJP MLA here. No arrests yet though. Muni Ratna so far has remained silent on this. The BJP has also not responded as a party. Charges are quite serious. Appears this investigation is only the beginning now. Now, taking you through a big storm that happened inside an SBI bank, where a bank employee refused to speak in Kannada when the customer asked for her to speak in Kannada so he could understand the banking formalities. This 30-second video has reignited Karnataka's language fault lines, this time from inside a State Bank of India branch in Bengaluru. An SBI branch manager in Suryanagar, Chandapura, was caught on camera refusing to speak Kannada to a customer. When reminded of the RBI norms, she shrugs off, saying, I will never speak in Kannada. This is India. I will speak in Hindi. Now, before walking off, she also took a video of the customer, who was, of course, enraged. That remark has now exploded into full-blown protests and political outrage. The Karnataka Rakshana Vedike has taken to the streets, demanding the manager be sacked for disrespecting Kannada-speaking customers. Now, fuel was added to the fire when the same manager released an apology video later, grinning through it, which many of them saw as mockery and not remorse. That's the apology video there, where she seems to be largely smiling, maybe even laughing while saying, I'm sorry. Now, Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, condemning this episode, called this unacceptable. He says that bank employees must speak in Kannada to deal with Kannadiga customers. He said, and I quote, respecting the local language is respecting the people, demanding cultural sensitivity training for all bank staff. Now, unusually, he also had BJP MP Tejasvi Surya backing the Chief Minister Siddaramaiah. He said, this behavior is simply not acceptable. Banks in Karnataka must serve customers in Kannada, period. Now, this isn't an isolated case. Just last September, another Bengaluru bank manager reportedly told customers that they will only speak in Hindi. If you want, listen or leave. The challan also, of course, was printed in Hindi and English, not in Kannada. Now, SBI, as expected, or basically out of pressure, it appears, has transferred this very manager and issued a statement saying, we are deeply concerned. The matter is under evaluation. SBI has zero tolerance for behavior affecting customer sentiment. All right, now taking you through some news disturbing for Congress in Karnataka. The Ranya Rao gold smuggling scandal is beginning to cast a shadow now, and it's reached right into Karnataka's political corridors. Enforcement Directorate has swooped into G. Parmeshwara owned institutions. In fact, the Home Minister G. Parmeshwara owns a set of institutions called Siddhartha Education Trust, located in Tumkuru. In fact, those institutions were raided by the Enforcement Directorate, including the Siddhartha Institute of Technology and Siddhartha Medical College. The ED has remained tight-lipped on the reason for the raids, but sources suggest that the issue may be due to unauthorized funding, basically funding that may have come into the educational institutions through illegal means. Now, there have been claims that this case could be linked to the Ranya Rao gold smuggling racket. These are claims also made by the BJP, who say that Ranya Rao gave away a lot of gold and proceeds of that crime to a lot of influential people. It's likely that the Siddhartha institution was one that gained. Allegations, of course, leveled by the BJP, but ED has so far remained tight-lipped. Though Karnataka Congress has responded, the Deputy CM himself, DK Shivkumar, has brushed off all these allegations. Now, he's, of course, said that my minister is clean, I'm confident in him.
I'm sure that in no way my Home Minister is involved with any of such cases. He's a very decent, simple man. I think he might have some of them come and meet, common man come and meet and go. I think no way Parmeshwar is involved in such type of case.
Now, leader of the opposition R. Ashoka openly alleged that gold smuggled by Ranya Rao may have been used to fund these institutions, saying it's already known Ranya Rao brought gold from abroad, distributed it to influential people. That money may have been routed to Siddhartha institutions. Whoever is involved must face action.
ಇಡಿ ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಒಂದು ತನಿಖಾ ಏಜೆನ್ಸಿ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ರನ್ಯಾ ರಾವ್ ವಿದೇಶದಿಂದ ಗೋಲ್ಡನ್ನು ತಂದು ಚಿನ್ನವನ್ನು ತಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಪ್ರಮುಖರಿಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರುವಂಥದ್ದು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ತನಿಖೆಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಬಂದಿದೆ. ಈಗ ಆ ಒಂದು ಹಣ ಸಿದ್ಧಾರ್ಥ ಎಜುಕೇಷನ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೂಡಿಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಅದರಿಂದ ತನಿಖೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ತನಿಖೆ ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಯಾರೇ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ತಪ್ಪೇ, ಅದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ನಾನು ಈ ತನಿಖೆಯನ್ನು ಇನ್ನಷ್ಟು ಚುರುಕುಗೊಳಿಸಬೇಕು. ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಈ ರನ್ಯಾ ರಾವ್ ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಮೇಲೂ ಕ್ರಮ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಆಗ್ರಹವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Now, as the probe tightens, big questions loom as to how far did this gold trail really go, and who are those who really got some ill-gotten money. Let me cut across to Tamil Nadu now. We're looking at a fresh flashpoint in Tamil Nadu versus Centre over NEP. And this time it seems even the Supreme Court is involved. M.K. Stalin, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, has accused the Modi-led Centre of withholding 2,151 crores in education funds under the Samagra Shiksha scheme. Tamil Nadu claims the centre is punishing the state for refusing to implement the national education policy and its three-language formula, which the DMK has long rejected as backdoor for Hindi imposition. Tamil Nadu stands firm on its two-language formula, Tamil and English. Says the centre's refusal to release funds goes against an earlier commitment made by its own project approval board. The sanction proposal was cleared in February 2023, promising over 3,500 crores, of which 2,151 crores had to come from the centre, but that money is still pending. The centre, meanwhile, insists the three-language policy is about reviving Indian languages and not imposing Hindi, and has accused the DMK of politicizing education on the whole. This isn't the first standoff, of course. Tamil Nadu earlier also rejected another central scheme, the PM Shri scheme. Chief Minister Stalin had then also said, no one can force us to implement the central scheme. We will not compromise on our principles. Now the war of words has reached a fresh flashpoint in the parliament as well. Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has slammed the DMK, saying they are dishonest, they are putting politics over students' lives and their future. Stalin has responded, accusing Pradhan, the Education Minister, of disrespecting the people of Tamil Nadu and trying to impose Hindi, and that such conduct by the centre should be disciplined. This courtroom battle, of course, raises many questions. What really happens now to the students who are stuck in the middle of this storm here?
The Tamil Nadu government has filed a suit against the union government for non-release of 2,291 crores, which was due to the state of Tamil Nadu under the SSA scheme. And recently, the Supreme Court has also pointed out that no state governments can be compelled to follow a national education policy when that is the law laid down by the Supreme Court. Similarly, the funds cannot be tied to implementation. The three-language formula, which the state has opposed last 70-80 years. We have never ever had a three-language formula, and we have proof, we have enough data to show that it will only spoil the students' chances of learning other things. That is the reason why we opposed it.
All right, now let me take you through news coming in from Pakistan. Pakistan's Sindh province is on the boil. Furious protesters torched the provincial home of Minister Ziaul Hassan Lanjar in Naushan Rao Feroz. The mob also trashed security guards stationed at the property there. In fact, the explosion of anger has come after a deadly face-off between the police and a nationalist group protesting the government's plan to construct 6 canals on the Indus River, a project aimed at irrigating the Cholistan region. Now, one should remember, obviously, this decision here by Pakistan has come when the Indus Water Treaty has been kept in abeyance. We're looking at India holding back waters here on one end, and Pakistan, of course, trying on the other end to see if it can deviate some of the Indus water for its irrigation purposes in these areas. And of course, people in Sindh now absolutely furious, claiming that this is disturbing their lives. Now, locals allege the canals will rob them of their land and their right share of water. At least 2 people were killed in these attacks, several injured on both sides when the police tried to break up a highway blockade. What followed was complete mayhem. Trucks looted, vehicles set ablaze, and minister's house, of course, reduced to ashes. All right, let me take you through the COVID scare that's now gripped India. Maharashtra sees a mild COVID uptick. The JN1 variant is back in focus. Of course, COVID is back in the spotlight in Maharashtra, but it's no time to panic. Health officials have confirmed 2 deaths in Mumbai since January, but both were linked to pre-existing comorbidities. Not COVID entirely alone. The real reason, of course, at this point is a breakout in countries like China, Singapore, Hong Kong. The concern is a steady spike in cases, a fresh spike and a steady spike, but it's not as rampant as yet. From May 12th to 19th, Maharashtra itself has recorded 56 new infections, with Mumbai leading the tally. Driving this uptick is the very variant, the JN1 variant, a sub-lineage of Omicron, which experts say is about 1.5 times more transmissible than the previous strains. Now, since January, the state has tested over 6,000 samples. 106 turned up positive, 101 from Mumbai alone, and the rest from Pune, Thane, and Kolhapur. Now, let's remind our viewers that southern states like Karnataka, Kerala, and Andhra have also seen a rise in cases, but still not alarming enough. As of now, in Maharashtra, 52 patients have mild symptoms and are recovering at home. 16 are in hospital care. The health department maintains that the situation is well under control. Now, experts have said clearly that the overall risk of this variant, the JN1 variant, remains low. no signs of a severe outbreak yet. So therefore, the alarm bells haven't yet gone out. But we do know that the government has asked all hospitals and agencies to stay alert. The citizens, of course, now being urged to maintain hygiene, watch for symptoms, don't fall for fake forwards and panic. Yes, variants like the JN1 are evolving, but we are vaccinated. There is a spike, but this is in 2020. We've come a far long way and we're safe. Now, taking you through a lot of politics that's now brewing over the delegation that's going to be representing India on Operation Sindoor globally. In a sharp attack, Congress leader Jairam Ramesh has accused Prime Minister Narendra Modi of trying to divert attention from tough questions after the Pahalgam attack, where the terrorists remain at large still. Those terrorists have not been arrested or taken into custody or neutralized. In fact, they still remain at large. So, Jairam Ramesh now slamming the Modi government for focusing on sending diplomatic delegations abroad and preparing a dossier while those terrorists behind the attacks are still out free. He's also reminded the media that the UPA government acted swiftly during their tenure right after 26/11 attacks. Terrorists were caught and killed, those involved in those attacks, and one of them was arrested. Jairam Ramesh claims the Modi government's actions were nothing more than a tactic to shift focus from its tarnished global image. On the death anniversary of Rajiv Gandhi, Jairam Ramesh highlighting that his humanity and how the story from Atal Bihari Vajpayee showcasing Gandhi's decency in helping Vajpayee at that point get medical treatment abroad. Basically to say that during Vajpayee, during Rajiv Gandhi, the approach towards such a security threat would have been very different than what it is in today's day under Modi. These are Congress's claims. Congress nominated 4 leaders for the new diplomatic delegations. Only Anand Sharma made the cut, with leaders like Shashi Tharoor, Manish Tiwari, who weren't nominated, but it seems like the centre had picked them on their own. Now, in the Congress, of course, questioning the authenticity of this diplomatic delegation to address national security. First of all, the party has been quite upset that people like Shashi Tharoor and Manish Tiwari were taken into the delegation without the party actually proposing their names. Well, it's at this point, Jairam Ramesh now condemning the centre fully, saying that this is not the approach they would have expected the government to take.
अब हम मांग करते रहे, सर्वदलीय बैठक बुलाए, अध्यक्षता कीजिए, विशेष सत्र बुलाइए. उन्होंने ये जो बहुदलीय प्रतिनिधि मंडल है सांसदों का, उन्होंने इसकी घोषणा कर दी और सभी पार्टियों से उन्होंने चुनकर सांसद उन्होंने एक डेलीगेशन बनाया और दुनिया के अलग देशों में 30 या 32 देशों में जाएंगे. तो मैं समझता हूं ये तो एक डाइवर्जन है, ध्यान हटाने का एक और प्रयास है. तो असली मुद्दे हम उठा रहे हैं, चीन को लेकर, पाकिस्तान को लेकर, आतंकवाद हमले जो हुए हैं. देखिए, आज भी पहलगाम के आतंकवादी को पकड़ा नहीं गया है, आज भी वो लापता है.
All right, let me shift our focus here to the Ashoka University professor who was arrested for a social media post that he put out. He's now got bail. This case, of course, has reignited the whole debate around freedom of speech versus responsible expression that's landed the Ashoka University professor Ali Khan Mahmoodabad in the legal spotlight. Supreme Court did grant him interim bail in connection with that controversial social media post that he put out on Operation Sindoor. The post had triggered 2 FIRs against him, filed by Haryana police, alleging that it was inflammatory, anti-national and undermine national sovereignty. While the court has refused to stay the FIRs, it's delivered a sharp message to the professor as well. A bench of justices, Suryakant and N. Kotiswar Singh, said that Mahmoodabad's choice of words was provocative and uncalled for, especially at a sensitive time during the India-Pakistan conflict. Justice Suryakant said, and I quote, "At the time when so many things were happening in the country, where was the occasion for him to use these kind of words which could be insulting, humiliating and putting others in discomfort? He is a learned man. He cannot be said, basically he cannot be told what to do, but he should have observed restraint." The court upheld Mahmoodabad's right to free speech though, but warning at the same time that such statements can amount to dog whistling. In a series of directions, the Supreme Court barred Mahmoodabad from posting any further content related to the India-Pakistan conflict, ordered him to surrender his passport as well, as the FIRs still remain, directed the Haryana DGP to form a 3-member SIT led by an IG rank officer and a woman SP, both outside Haryana and Delhi, to probe this case independently. Now, meanwhile, the National Human Rights Commission has ordered the Haryana police to submit within 7 days a detailed report claiming that his arrest was prima facie a violation of human rights. For now, the case continues to stir the waters on where the line is really drawn between academic freedom, free speech, national security. All right, now we're looking at the Haryana government cracking down on a lot of social media content, especially on YouTube. They've come up with some guidelines for YouTubers, and this comes basically bouncing off on the Jyoti Malhotra case, the blogger who has been dubbed as a spy. She's been arrested on charges of espionage. The Haryana government now moving swiftly to tighten the reins on social media influencers and travel vloggers by and large. The Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini has ordered the Home Department to draft strict standard operating procedures for all content creators, particularly those who produce travel-related content. Chief Minister Saini has directed officials to intensify surveillance on YouTube channels with suspected foreign links, especially those potentially serving as sleeper cells. Here's what he said.
नहीं, मैंने कल ही पुलिस के उच्च अधिकारियों के साथ बैठक लिया था और एक एक विषय के ऊपर बड़ी गहनता से चर्चा की है। सभी अधिकारियों के साथ बैठ करके हमने कहा है कि इस प्रकार के लोग दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है जो हमारे देश में रह करके हमारे देश का खा करके वो सुरक्षा पाकिस्तान को देते हैं। ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। हमने कहा है कि ऐसे सब लोगों की गहनता से जांच की जाए और सख्त कार्रवाई भी की जाए। ऐसे लोगों को कोई बख्शने का सवाल ही नहीं है। कोई भी व्यक्ति है, जांच चल रही है।
Now, the upcoming SOPs will likely include stringent vetting of content posted by influencers and bloggers going forward, mandatory verification for creators with high follower counts, surveillance triggers for posts related to sensitive border areas or defense sites. As the digital battlefield is now heating up, Haryana, of course, preparing to draw a hard line between content creation and covert operations, warning that national security comes first. Violators will face the heat if not. Meanwhile, in a startling confession, YouTuber Jyoti Malhotra has admitted to working on the instructions of the Pakistani High Commission. In fact, she says that she met with the people they asked her to meet. She chatted about some locations and details about Kashmir with the people she was asked to chat with. Still not revealing if this was intentful and if she knew what was going on, but she says she did. She basically admits that she did have conversations with these people as suspected. Now, during the questioning, Jyoti Malhotra reveals that she first visited the High Commission in 2023, Pakistani High Commission, for a visa where she met an officer named Danish, believed to be Ehsan ur Rahman, his name. Later visited Pakistan twice on that visa that was hosted by Ali Hassan, who introduced her to Pakistani security officials there and individuals with alleged links to Italian prisons. Back in India, she remained in contact with them through WhatsApp, Snapchat, Telegram, and is accused of sharing some anti-national information as well. All right, well, taking you through the United States' bold decision. Now, while the world is inching towards conflict after conflict, or rather we're right in the middle of multiple conflicts, here is the United States now taking a bold decision to give themselves cover even in the skies. So Donald Trump has now launched a new project called the Golden Dome, worth $175 billion, which will act as a missile defense shield, massive space-based program aimed at countering threats from anywhere, primarily from Russia and China. Speaking at a White House press conference, Trump has revealed that U.S. Space Force General Michael Guetlin will head this ambitious project, calling the Golden Dome a vital step to protect our homeland. He's added, in fact, that even Canada wants to come forward. They want to be protected, so they've also shown interest in this Golden Dome. So, Golden Dome, very similar to the Iron Dome that that Israel itself has used since 2011 and has largely has saved them from multiple short-range missiles. But here is this Golden Dome we hear that United States plan to launch that can protect the United States from anywhere, from land, sea, space, and long-range missiles, any kind of missiles. It will protect. It will in fact thwart them in time. Let's listen in.
In the campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. This design for the Golden Dome will integrate with our existing defense capabilities and should be fully operational before the end of my term. So we'll have it done in about 3 years. Once fully constructed, the Golden Dome will be capable of intercepting missiles even if they are launched from other sides of the world and even if they are launched from space.
All right, that's it there on the day tonight. Now let me cut across to our deep dive story where we're going to take you through a startling story coming in from Bengaluru inside metros. Now imagine you're on a metro ride. You're tired, you're scrolling through your phone unaware. A stranger across the aisle secretly clicks your picture and hours later the image is viral. Thousands of them commenting on your picture, on how your body looks like, on how your clothes look, and what would they do to you if they saw you alone. That's exactly what's been happening on the Instagram page called Bangalore Metro Chicks, which is now under police scanner. The account had over 5,000 followers, sadists, following, commenting, engaging, sharing photographs, videos of female Nama Metro commuters without consent, of course. Some taken up close, some clearly filmed in secret, largely without consent, basically all without consent. Shockingly, the audience lapped it up, commenting, rating, objectifying the photographs of those women on that page. Social media user flagged this page, alerted the police. FIR was filed though by the Banshankari police only much later after backlash exploded online. Now, the accusers quickly deleted all the posts put out, but still no arrests have happened. One should know that this isn't just privacy breach. It's thoroughly disturbing reflection of a society that we come from, where women are turned into content without consent. Predators hiding behind screens, followers cheering them on. Now, kudos to the person who really flagged this off to the police. We need more people like you. Now, to talk about this a little more, we have Brinda Adige, women's rights activist, Deepak Raheja, Director and Chief Psychiatrist, also joining us of Hope Care India. Thank you very much, both of you, for sparing your time. A quick word from you, Brinda. I'd start with you on the normalization of surveillance culture. We are looking at CCTV cameras everywhere. Now, I think largely people are also immune to be shot by unknown people. Of course, it would make me feel uncomfortable, but when there are CCTV cameras, surveillance happening everywhere, where is the end? Do you believe that this kind of objectification under the guise of entertainment and social media trend is really bringing mental misery to people at large? Unmute yourself, Brinda. Yeah, go on.
Yes, Nabila, mental misery, but constant tension. Imagine women are already bogged down by work at home, some deadlines in office, trying to catch the metro, reach office in time. All Indian things by the time they reach their office or come back home. And now they have to be worried if somebody's filming them. And you spoke about surveillance culture. Now, the surveillance culture has largely been thrust upon us by the government to say that it is for our safety. And so somewhere in our head, we think that the government is being conscious and cautious of our privacy. And so the surveillance is for the sake of security, not only for me, but for others. So that is the kind of mindset that most citizens have. Now, here, 2 points to be noted. One, there are CCTV cameras inside the carriages. Now, who is monitoring them? And is anybody profiteering from those? Two, the other part, that if the monitoring is happening and they can see someone filming somebody without their consent, why haven't those people monitoring the metro CCTV cameras brought it to the notice of the authorities? Two, I want to take this responsibility as a citizen and also place the same responsibility on all other citizens. It is our civic duty. When we see that as a crime is happening, someone is filming somebody without their knowledge, we either tell the person to not film or caution the other person saying, you are being filmed. Today, we've reached a level where we are not bothered. We are indifferent to all of this and say, it's not happening to me, it's happening to somebody else. Why interfere into this? So that is a responsibility that we as citizens must take up. We can no longer be bystanders, and that too, mute spectators. But at the end of the day, I will place the entire responsibility and the accountability is on the state. Because the impunity with which this perpetrator, he's not alone. I'm sure there are a lot of other people and they may be selling all of these videos, because if you look at that handle, it says, if you want some more information, get in touch. We'll even give you their numbers. So which means they're selling all of this and profiteering from it. So the handle has been around for quite some time. Why has cyber police not looked at it? Why
I'm
is
not
it
too sure
that
if
there is
cyber police goes through accounts suo moto. Does that even happen? They should do it?
They should.
Okay. So I think to help the cybercrime department, people like the one who actually flagged this off should be more in number. They should basically report these accounts. And if viewers who are watching, don't hesitate, and you have those options on social media accounts, thankfully, to report a violative post or an account or anything that basically goes against the guidelines. All social media platforms also have guidelines, so you can very well report them and report it to the police, your nearest station. Now, a quick word from Deepak Raheja, who's a psychiatrist, to give us a little more on the real psyche behind those people who are enjoying and consuming this kind of content, celebrating it if not for anything. And they're all behind their computer screens, right? You don't know their name, their actual name, their faces, but they want to indulge in this kind of voyeuristic content.
Lack of empathy, low self-esteem, feeling that they are in control of somebody's privacy, somebody's body, hypersexualization, objectification, lack of gender sensitivity. These are people who have sisters, who have mothers, but have no empathy because this is happening to somebody else's sister or mother, and this is not somebody they are in a relationship with. So it is that anonymity they enjoy, and this follower number that you see, 6,247, goes on to become 16,000 because people consume content like this without again having that empathy that it could be your house, it could be your family that would be predisposed, and it's like somebody is, to the victim, it gives a sense of vulnerability. And I totally agree with Brinda that it is the responsibility of the state to figure out mechanism, but what the state, the cyber police or the vigilantes can't, be looking at all the accounts. So we will have to play the Samaritan, the vigilants, where when we come across content like this, it's important to flag it, to report it, so that it just does not get reinforced and glorified. Because unfortunately, what really happens, if you really go to deeper internet, you'll find that there are multitude of people who are very happy to consume content like this. And that reinforces the psyche of these people who obviously have low self-esteem but bask in the glory of anonymity. So they feel they can do it, they can get away with it, and it probably gives them a sense of a fake control. They feel that they can invade and control the person these are people who may appear to be normal people from normal households, normal young boys, but it's important to give those digital ethics right from home to school, to talk to them, to explain to them that this is incorrect and this is
Haja,
violating somebody's space.
there's this tendency of wanting to do exactly what you're asked not to.
Exactly. But no, I totally don't agree. It's not like holding a stick and telling them not to. It is about going deeper and at a more spiritual level, explaining
Right.
to them how it is not the right thing to do. It is violating somebody's privacy, and I think those cues are available within families because they can appear like normal boys from normal households. So if parents talk, if families talk, if friends talk, if teachers talk, it is not about not doing it. It is also about explaining to them why it's not the right thing to do. Going deeper and explaining to them.
Yeah, go on, Brinda. I was just coming to you. The early signs to watch out for. I'm not too sure if you know what a predatory mind would really be like, but in your experience in the cases that you've dealt with as an activist, what are the signs to watch out for?
Yes, I'll respond to that. While I agree that education is very important and learning social conditioning is very important, we must also place on record the need for the fear of law. Why is there no fear of law that this is a criminal act? So it is important that they put up posters and give awareness, the government's job, that this is a punishable crime. After Justice Verma Commission came out, it is a 7 years of imprisonment for voyeurism. Do they know these things? Must they know it? So all of this also rests with the state. Now, what is it that we must watch out for? Inherently, as women, we are always very conscious of who is looking at us or who's watching us. But now, because everybody is looking into their phones, we have not been so conscious about these things, saying they are just watching something else. So I would tell that if you get that tingling sensation, we all get it. Look up, look around, and if you find, even if you suspect that somebody might have been taking a video or a photo, or
Stare
somebody
them in
has
the
been
eye.
staring at you for a long time, confront. And I do hope that public around the women or the men, it could be men also, who may be targets of these people, should support these people who are calling out this kind of voyeurism.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here doing today at News 9, really encouraging and hailing those people who actually flagged this off. This page could have very well gone unnoticed for a lot longer. A final word from you, Dr. Raheja, as you said, speaking deep, giving a little bit of understanding on what impact this could have, could maybe see a new leaf of those very predators. Could you tell us exactly the kind of mental health impact this could have on women who are being clicked and their photographs made viral? They're being objectified, where the people are talking about their body and their clothing and what they would do to them, all without their consent. What kind of mental impact will this have?
Extreme sense of vulnerability, extreme sense of feeling very violated, an extreme sense of a long drawn anxiety, which could sometimes mimic symptoms of not just a stress disorder, but a post traumatic stress disorder. In some individuals and some women, it can lead to severe anxiety disorders, generalized anxiety disorders, can even lead to depression. It is very important that they are spoken to, they are empathized, they are reassured. And I think that fear of law needs to be instilled also in the perpetrators. So there's a sense of security that we are able to, as a society, instill into people, because, like I said, it is like a invisible person following you. What's worst is a fear of fear, and it can really inculcate a sense of fear which is of a unknown fear, that where you,
Yeah.
like you said, CCTV is all around, but we trust the mechanisms that nobody is going to abuse them, and nobody is really going to zoom into, private spaces of yours and get a sense of glorification in it. So these are individuals who derive that. And like I keep saying, like we've read in so many sexual assault cases, it was the vegetable vendor who looked so inconspicuous and so unassuming. This could be very unassuming people, but the cues are visible within the family, within immediate family,
Correct.
friend circle, within school. So it's important to start educating them, correcting
Very well
them,
said.
go
Yeah.
deeper. It's a combination of top up and bottom, top down and bottom up, so that the fear of law and that sense of spiritual underpinning evokes a sense of uprising where
Right.
these incidents go down.
Very much, both of you, Dr. Raheja and Brinda Adige, for giving your valuable thoughts on that. Right, shifting our focus now to a big face-off between film producers and theatre owners in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Revenue sharing and early OTT releases. These are the two issues that is now threatening to upend the film exhibition business in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. A storm has now been brewing for months, but it's reached a breaking point, it appears. Around 60 film exhibitors met with producers like Dil Raju, Suresh Babu, all demanding a shift from the traditional rental system to a percentage-based revenue model. Their demand is simple: share your profits of the film fairly with us and delay OTT releases. These are the only two ways theatres will be able to sustain. Exhibitors say that films hitting OTT platforms just weeks after theatrical release really kills footfall into theatres. It leaves theatres and single screen especially bleeding. This is no longer a regional grievance. Let me tell you, this is a structural problem that most industries, film industries in India are now facing. In fact, the question is how do these theatres really coexist with OTT platforms? These giants backed with huge funding, single screen theatres are really lost in the midst of it. Now, if talks had collapsed, we understand that the talks have had some breakthrough at this point, so theatres are thinking now or rethinking of shutting business because they seem to have come to some consensus. But if at all they had shut shop for the next 1 month, big releases like Thug Life of Kamal Haasan, Trisha, Simbu, all starring Thug Life, would have not released in Andhra and Telangana. And this is a film that is being dubbed in Telugu. So the Telugu audience was looking forward to it. More importantly, Kamal Haasan was looking forward to that film's release. But if at all they went ahead with shutting theatres, then this movie wouldn't have released. Pavan Kalyan's film as well, Harihara Veeramallu, Part 1, could have faced disruptions in the Telugu states. Now, only multiplexes not aligned with the Exhibitors Association would have remained open during this month. But like I said, a breakthrough seems to have appeared. The Telugu Film Chamber has stepped in, holding crucial meetings with distributors and producers. Majority have agreed that a strike at this point will hurt the industry more than help it. They've decided to resolve the dispute amicably without shutting down theatres, ensuring screening will continue without disruption. In fact, Kamal Haasan had spoken a little earlier, assuring that his film, Thug Life, which is due to release very soon, will release on OTT platforms only after 8 weeks after its theatre release. So according to Kamal Haasan, this will give ample amount of time for theatres to lap up the footfall, enjoy all those movie buffs coming into theatres itself. In fact, he promised this at a promotional stage. Let's hear it. Kamal Haasan speaking.
It's a pragmatic thing to do, right? And I'm glad that the OTT agreed and we sat together. And it was not a negotiation, it's a plan, which maybe others could follow. And it will make the industry healthy. And we are glad that we were the first to be there to avail of that opportunity.
Now, that said, there's still underlying concerns that hasn't yet been resolved. Remember, since 2005 to now, 2,000 single-screen theatres have been shut down across Telugu states. In fact, exhibitors say the current revenue model is completely broken, and without any reform, single screens will become extinct soon if there isn't any kind of intervention. Theatres are still in survival mode. What they want isn't charity here, they want parity. The question is, can the industry truly come together to evolve and help one another? Let's hope that they break this pause now. To give us a little more, Nagendra Kumar, a film critic from Hyderabad, to tell us on how bad the situation is. All right, we have Nishant, who's a journalist, joining us. Nishant, please, a quick take from you on the theatres that have now agreed not to shut. But what really is the issue? What are their two primary demands?
Yeah, Nabila, the problem is that exhibitors in both the Telugu states are bleeding right now. The issue is that audience have stopped coming to the theaters because the producers have been giving the films for the OTTs in 2-3 weeks and at most the 4 weeks. So when the films are coming on the OTT in just 4 weeks or even less, audience are reluctant to go to the theaters, spending so much of money on ticket rates and even on the costly F&B prices. The major challenge, we hear that the producers have had a meeting today and they have agreed to consider their issues, but there is no concrete assurance like what they will be doing to the exhibitors. In the couple of days, the exhibitors and the producers will have a joint meeting and they will decide on how to move forward. But it looks like the shutdown may be delayed a bit because in the next 3 months we have several big releases lined up. Even the theaters want those films for their feed. So as we hear that it may get postponed for a while. But the biggest problem is people bringing people to the theaters. People have stopped coming to the theaters, especially the single screen theaters. At the same time, the single screen theaters should also upgrade themselves to match the multiplexes.
Correct.
And the major challenge is to, like Hindi cinema is doing now, no film comes on OTT in less than 8 weeks.
Yeah.
If it comes in less than 8 weeks, the PVR Inox will not be screening them. Somehow all the stakeholders should sit down and make sure
have that talk. And it appears that they have managed to come to some consensus on that.
No, there is no consensus on that front actually. The producers, all the big producers of Telugu film industry have met today. They sent a message to the exhibitors that they have their share of problems because the budgets have gone up, the remunerations have gone up. There is no way, even we are in crisis and there is no way we can stop the industry and accommodate their demands. So there is no concrete assurance like delaying the OTT releases or anything.
But it's nice of the single screens then to still continue functioning. Let's just hope that the government at least steps in to aid them at this point. But thank you very much, sir. I'm short on time on that. Really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, a quick look at what's now viral on the internet. We're looking at Kerala's CPIM MP, John Brittas, who sparked a flutter online with his candid take on Rahul Gandhi. Remember their alliance partners, the CPIM and the Congress, the India Bloc alliance partners. Now, in a YouTube interview, John Brittas was asked if he's met Rahul Gandhi and whether he thinks he's sharp and intelligent. So here's what John Brittas said. He went on to reveal that during an India Bloc floor meeting, he personally urged Rahul Gandhi to stop the daily disruptions he does in the parliament, saying that because you disrupt us in the parliament, I'm not able to bring up issues pertaining to Kerala. And that was interesting to hear him say that. Let's listen in.
Met him?
I met.
Yeah?
I meet him, but I don't think...
He looks like a sharp person to you?
I don't know, he's not that warm to me.
No, but why?
I don't know. I was little critical of his stand in one of the meetings.
Okay.
And I don't know, is that the
In
reason?
the alliance meeting? Have you been to the India alliance meetings?
India alliance meeting मतलब parliamentary floor leaders का meeting था.
ठीक है.
उसी ये meeting में मैंने
आपने क्या बोल दिया?
मैंने बोला ये रोज disruption करना तो अच्छा नहीं है, parliament का disrupt करना.
ठीक है.
You have to devise some ways.
Got it.
Innovative protest है.
You have to be constructive.
मैं वो मीटिंग में बोला देखो ये हम तो केरल से आ रहा है, इतना ये इश्यूज है, हम तो रेस करना पड़ेगा. एंड देख लीजिए कुशनोवर तो स्क्रैप कर रहे हैं, सिरोवर तो स्क्रैप करते हैं, डिस्कशन डिबेट भी स्क्रैप करते हैं. ये उनको सुविधा करते हैं. इट फैसिलिटेट्स देम.
ठीक है, सही है.
उनको अकाउंटेबल बनने के लिए तो हम तो ये पार्लियामेंट चलने
तो इस पे और लोग क्या बोले ऑपोजिशन वाले? व्हाट डिड दे से?
बहुत सारे लोग तो मेरे को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. वो थोड़ा सा
आरजे नहीं माना.
आरजेडी भी माना है.
नहीं, आरजी
मतलब he had some difficulty in, I don't know.
Well, clearly some of the allies there think that Rahul's style is not really adding to the opposition. Well, let me take you through a quick look at this very story before I wrap. In fact, this was my favorite visual of the day, a rare standoff that was caught on camera deep inside Chhattisgarh's Avujmad. A mother bear takes on a tiger to protect her cub fiercely. This unfolded near Pangud, where road work is currently underway. Eyewitnesses saw the tiger approaching the cub, only for the mother to charge in, forcing the big cat to retreat. The dramatic face-off was filmed by villagers, now viral, showing how fierce and wild a mother can get to protect her child.